So, you wanted this podcast, and it's taken me a lot of time to do it. But welcome to the Futtymania podcast, episode 1. First of all, the most important thing, which biscuits have I got today? Well, considering we're starting off today with the first podcast, it was only right to get the goat of biscuits, hobnobs. There is no milk chocolate, by the way. There is no better biscuit than this. And I could do a podcast on these biscuits alone. I mean, I can just smell them. Seriously. Oh, they're just tickling my taste buds already. I am actually really excited about having hobnobs. More than I'm telling you about Futtymania. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mmm. The mic's there. The crunch. Look at that. Look at that biscuit. McVitie's, man. Seriously. Do a sponsorship with me or something. Just invite me into your factory, please. Oh, they're beautiful. Top that off with tea. Oh, alhamdulillah. Could not beat that. So, welcome to the Futtymania podcast. So, you all want to know why Futtymania started and how it started. The truth be told, it actually started as an events business. I remember speaking to my father who's passed away now, and I was working with him, and I was like, Dad, need to do something different, seriously, I felt there's a gap in the market. My dad knew I was a risk taker, even when I was doing business with him at the warehouse. I'd always take some risks, and he'd just say, look, go on a small scale. And I remember when I showed him this, he goes, this is good, I like this. I showed him the ideas, and he goes, look, I know you're going to do it, but just do it on a small scale. So if it doesn't work out, you don't lose too much. And my dad, having a business background, mashallah, he was right in what he said. And I did do that. Though I did end up designing a bespoke, one of one inflatable football stadium, a multi-sports arena with multiple games on it. Trust me. I'll try and drop a picture of it, but I'm sure you've seen it over Instagram. That was the only one. Then we had the footy darts board, about 6 meters high, biggest one in the UK. I was going to go out big, right? I remember I was actually going to call it the Big Inflatable Company, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to create a brand, and I was very brand orientated. I remember shout out L, saying, you're the brand king, Billy. And yeah, so that's where Futtymania was actually formed, around this inflatable events business. And I remember, you've seen the videos, Sidemen, you've seen the other videos of the footballers. I've done Man United. I had the footy pool table. I had the slip and slide, human table football. Where you play human table football on the table. Excuse me. Well, this was the inflatable version where you'd play it yourself. And I remember calling the boys round to my office in Heaton, Mersey, and they loved it. They absolutely loved it. They're falling all over the place. Oh, good laugh that. But yeah, that's how the brand of Futtymania actually started. It started by me seeing a gap in the market for events and wanting to do an events business. And the honest truth is, my plan back then was to take this abroad, because I knew here you had to rely on the weather. And the problem here is, because my inflatables were so big, and if it was to happen indoors, there was only specific places that could cater it. So I think the inflatable stadium, if I'm not mistaken, it was 2 tons. Is that right? That's how heavy it was. There was 4 components to it. It was over a ton, sorry, and I think it was just massive. Seriously, it was just massive. Whereas I knew if I was to go abroad somewhere, and yes, Dubai was the aim, the weather would be fantastic. So all you need to do is put it outside. Obviously, when it gets too hot, you could put a covering over it. And I'd planned everything. I'd actually sorted everything out. But the fire hit, took everything, and then it wasn't to be honest. It wasn't the place where we wanted to move in the end. Alhamdulillah for that. But yeah, Futtymania started as an events business. That is how it started. I need a hobnob break. Mm. I think because I'm on video, I'm not going to eat as many. But these biscuits are the elitist biscuits ever. McVitie's, please get in touch with me. At least let me just take Futtymania players on a tour of the factory. Or let me come. Or I will make room on the shirt for McVitie's. Trust me. By the way, I hope you like my mug as well. Missy's is going to kill me. It's hers. Hobnobs and chai. There's nothing better than that. But yeah, going back to Futtymania, alongside it, I remember one of my friends, he took his kid to a football session. I think they must have been in reception at the time, or even year one. And he wasn't very impressed. So he said, look, come with me. You're on that side. Just do a session for our kids. I was like, no, man, that's going to be a headache. So I went. I'll be honest with you, I felt sorry for the coach there. He was only young, but I just felt as though he wasn't briefed or trained on what to do because the kids were running all over the place. There was no structure. I know it's year one, but at least get them in a game if they're not listening. That's the best thing. Let them play then. At least then they're running, they're active, they're running after the ball, they know what to do. And then he said to me, he goes, go on, put a session on next week. So I remember I had 4 kids there. I was paying about £45. I think it was probably more or less. I can't remember for the whole 4 kids. Yahya came. After a little while, my Yahya, he just wasn't interested, right? So I couldn't force him. So when I used to go, all his friends, because it was his age group stuff, we were like, where's Yahya? Where's Yahya? I was like, oh, he didn't come today, blah, blah, blah. And then we're like, okay, well, we only come because Yahya's going to come. And I was like, great. In the back of my mind, I'm not going to lie, I was like, secretly, yeah, let's just call this quits because I have to wake up at like 8 o'clock in the morning, leave home at 8:30, get here for 7:45, set up. And then in the end, I remember dragging Yahya to a session. He was crying his eyes out. Clearly remember that. I got him changed in the van. And yeah, since then, alhamdulillah, seriously, alhamdulillah, I don't know where and how it's happened, but alhamdulillah, 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 it's developed into a football club. And seriously, after the fire coming, it's a blessing in disguise because this is what's taken over that events business. But yeah, that is it for episode 1. So I hope you've enjoyed it. It has been very daunting for me to actually do this. People probably see me on the camera and go, yeah, he loves it. Trust me, ask the guys that are closest to me. I hate it, but I know I have to keep it going because Futtymania is my brand. I have to push my brand. People have to get a trust of myself, see me, know what I can do and what I can bring and what I can offer. But yeah, next episode, I'm going to talk to you about the Futtymania Academy and how I started that and how that went to. And if anyone is interested in starting an academy, next week, we're going to have some new biscuits. But I am rating these biscuits, these hobnobs, the milk chocolate, a staggering 10 out of 10. Don't argue with me over that rating because these are the most elite biscuits. So, don't eat with your mouth full. Make sure you like, you subscribe, and you follow Futtymania, please, on Insta, on TikTok. But also let me know which biscuits you want me to munch in next episode. For now, I'm leaving you with my tea. One more hobnob. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.